All right, recording started from the top. But basically, would the modules exist? Yes, he was planning on using the modules regardless of whether or not the classes were open or closed. Um, Starting with lemons. Oh God. No, but the the thing that happened with the module marks is basically there are how teachers like sometimes give out multiple different like tests with different questions, like with different numbers, same questions, different numbers to create different answers and stuff. So you can't all just copy off of each other. He created multiple different hidden answers basically, and you get one of them at random using the iSolve. But apparently, Canvas decided to make all of the hidden answers, like alternative like questions, make all of them marked. So it made all of them possible to have points, which you can tell how many alternate questions he has in there, given the fact that it's 130 extra. That's a lot. Alternative sets of numbers. He put a lot of them in there. But yeah, Canvas decided to make it all worth points, even though they were hidden. Which I got nothing for. I could not tell you why Canvas would do something like that. But yes, because Canvas dumb. Yeah, Canvas dumb. I will tell you though, the program we had before Canvas, Blackboard, was even dumber. So be grateful you guys don't have that. Canvas is a well-made application compared to some of like Blackboard was pretty bad. Blackboard was pretty bad. Having been someone on both ends, Blackboard was a no. It's a no from me, Chief. But yes. What was I saying before the Blackboard stuff though? Yeah, so there is a 23 page report, and it's in your syllabus. But one thing that like everybody needs to understand about Dr. Hogue, it's not that he's mean or unfair. He's been doing this for like 10 plus years now. There's a reason why he's a tenured professor. There's a reason why he's a research professor. There's a reason why he gets research grants and all of that. It's because he knows how to do his job, and he knows he has turned out some amazing students. Like one of his more recent students, Steven, was the TA for this class 2 years ago. He was a TA for his intermediate graphic design course, or not graphic design. Dang it, computer graphics, intermediate computer graphics. No, it's for the final GDW project. It's all GDW. I don't know. James has probably explained it to you that you have 25% of your final grade dedicated to GDW in all your other classes, in all of your aligned courses. I'm sure James has explained that to you. That GDW report, along with your all the math from your GDW, entrepreneurship never plays balls. It never plays ball. I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so tired. Anyways, basically, entrepreneurship is never included in that. None of your business courses will be. Yeah, they're not very nice. Your business courses will not cooperate with James. One of the business courses ghosted James. One of the teachers just ghosted James in our year. The teacher just James would send him an email, and then the teacher would never respond to it. And then James would be like, where's your teacher? Where's his office? What are his office hours? I'm gonna show up. And the teacher just never responded to James about GDW. So that was fun. That was fun. Yeah. I don't know who you guys have, but yeah, probably. Most of them are. The business teachers are not my favorite. Never had him, so I can't speak to him, but We've had. They're always looking for a way to make money. It's very sad. It is not a. It is not a. No, we did not, Lily. We did not have to make 10-minute in person. Because this isn't just a game dev course, Steven. This is game dev. This is game development and entrepreneurship. You are not just learning how to make a game, but you are also learning how to make a company when you graduate. You will have the skills to create your own company in the end. In fact, I was part of a team that did create their own company. I left that company because I do not think you should be making a company like until after you've had some real life experience. I very much think I would like to make a company one day. I would like to start an indie like development studio, but I would also like to get some AAA experience before that. Those are all things that I would like to do. But yes, Dr. Hogue is not unfair. He's a very fair man. I know the assignment seemed unfair, and there were a few things that weren't explained as well as they could have been. However, the idea was for you guys to be like. That's why I was encouraging every week with all of those assignments. I was encouraging like using the framework every week and basically like playing around with it. That's why those discussion boards existed, to post your mess arounds and like share it with your classmates, or like share your questions with your classmates, and your classmates can help answer them. And I saw a few people using them and a few people actually answering them. Well, one thing you guys might not know about Dr. Hogue is he started the program. He's the one that started this program. He made it 10 plus years ago. He actually started the first game development club here, basically. And so he created a club in which making a game was like the core premise. And in the end, it turned into game dev. And he like basically came to this school and started it. Up until my second year, he was the head of the program. He was the head of the program along with a man named Bill, who you guys will meet next year, I believe. I'm not sure if you guys have had to meet Bill yet, but Bill is. Yes. Exactly, Michael. And so the idea was always to like have the videos be watched and then come here. That was a very important part. Like that was a very important step. The issue is I don't think I made it clear enough how important it was. Like how mandatory it was to be able to understand everything. Because there's no way you can like, unless you're a prodigy, like there's no way you'll be able to understand them in a few hours and be able to write it. Yeah. The worst part is always realizing you have issues with the content. Like I have an assignment due on Friday that I haven't started because I've been marking and I've been doing my own work. Like I've been like in the Discord answering questions from you guys and like everything, and doing like all of that stuff. And so I have an AI assignment in which I have to write a min-max tree to make an AI that does tic-tac-toe. Not all TAs. A lot of TAs are also a lot of TAs are also, what's it called? Graduate students. However, this year, I believe a lot of your guys' TAs are all fourth years. AI is fourth year, but it's not taught the greatest. No one likes the teacher. He doesn't give rubrics. He doesn't do anything. How do you become a TA? You cannot become a TA until your 3rd year, I believe is the rule. Yes, it is 3rd year. You need to be a 3rd year. And if you're taking a reduced course load, you won't be able to become a teacher until you are in 3rd year standing. I was quote unquote 3rd year last year. I was unable to TA last year though, because I did not have the credits. I take a reduced course load. I take 1 less course a semester just because it's cheaper. It's like $2,000 cheaper every year. What do you do in 3rd year? When you're in 3rd year, you'll actually get like an announcement from the school, and they'll basically tell you, hey, TAing applications are open, and they'll give you a link. You will get like an email from the school, basically. What's the hardest year? 2nd year. 1st year has the largest dropout rate, but 2nd year is the hardest. If you get back past 2nd year, you're gonna make it through all of them. Because 2nd year you have to write, so you know the framework, you have to write your own, but 3D, from scratch, from absolutely nothing. So you know all those OpenGL errors that you guys are seeing that are like caused because of exceptions, because of like if you wrote in the wrong like file name or something, or you put the wrong like component on things. Yeah, those are all things that you're gonna have to debug yourself and write yourself, all from scratch. Would it have been easier for me to split up the course load? I did personally. I reduced by 2 courses. However, I did that for money things, but I think it has helped me in not being as overwhelmed. Natasha, yes, it's in your GDW group. That's your GDW assignment for the year. You have to basically make an entire framework and then make a game using that framework from scratch. It is fun. It's honestly pretty fun. But it looks like, yeah, imagine doing that all on your own. But it looks like everybody's here now. Everybody that's gonna show up, because it is 10:16 at this point. And so I would like to go through Sloom's Happy Day. Hi, this is going to be Inception, and I'm sorry for that, but this is the only screen that I'm recording. So if I don't do it this way, then we just end up with a lot more not good things. But this is Sloom's Happy Day. This was made by Isaac and Nazifa. And while I'm playing, Isaac and Nazifa can unmute and talk if they would like, if they're comfortable with that. It makes it easier for all of us. Wait, one second, wait, before you do that. I just realized I am not, in fact, recording desktop audio, and I need to record it. Okay, now you can unmute. There we go. I should be recording desktop audio now. But I need to make, there you go. Sorry, Nazifa. Thank you for putting your hand up. Made my life easy. You should be able to unmute now. Do I have to force unmute you? I can't. I can't unmute Isaac. It's just not possible. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Okay, so these two made Sloom's Happy Day. Or is it Sloom's? Yeah, Sloom's Happy Day. I really like it. I will tell you guys if I'm gonna give like, so I'm gonna be giving feedback during this, obviously. So the idea is so that everybody can learn from, even from the like one of the best like examples of the assignment that I saw. For example, this should not be in here. And that's something that if everybody looks over at Canvas, I just posted in the pinned area, Guide for Sending Visual Studio Projects. This will show you step by step how to submit in the end, you'll have a final exe folder and your actual code. So basically, you want to separate them out. You want your exe separate, as well as you want a README. And I noticed some people were using .docs for their quote unquote READMEs, which it's preferable if you just like right click new text document. A .text will open up way faster than a Word document and will be way easier to write with. But yeah, that's all. So let's get into it. Oh, I accidentally ran it twice, I think. I did. I did indeed. This is Sloom's happy day. It is very cute. I will give them that. But they can talk about like this is very like what were the controls again, Isaac or Nazifa? Either one. WASD. But like what was you had? Did you have what was the toggle? I and O? Is this? So I press I do like this graph though. It is very like I will say this is the most accurate graph I saw. Like in the ones that I did. Yeah. Yeah, they got the whole graph in their video and in their thing. It was very well done. You're very quiet, Nazifa, just so you know. No, it's okay. I'm just making sure, like, cause it's very like, I'm trying to make sure that I can hear you and I don't speak over you. But yes, like, I was very surprised at getting them that they had the graph in this, as well as the way that like their level, like specifically, one thing that I was super impressed by. I am clearly on the other. I believe I am. Ha! Because you're making progress. Can you guys see it? Well? Ooh. That might be on me. But yes. Really? It is pretty hard. Ah, there we go. That's... I am restarting it specifically. I do not like that movement. But that, you guys filled the requirements. Yes. It wasn't. I was trying. I was trying. It wasn't working. Yeah. But anyways, basically like they're this specifically the low frame rate's because of Kaltura. Yes, it is. Kaltura is bad. But it is. It's not horrible. I think it could be worse. I beat this morning. I'm so mad. I beat it this morning using this version. This is the one I downloaded from, yeah, you emailed me this one. I never do. I always take this risk. It's better. But if you guys would like to possibly talk about like cuz your back and forth movement feels very like satisfying, and in your video, like your video guys' video submission, I was very like uh oh nope. I don't know what's different cuz it was working like perfect. The moment I demo it, it won't even jump me high. Like before, it was jumping me way more high enough. Like, oh, demo curse, demo curse, demo curse. Exactly, Michael. That was my first thought when I saw this. Like, this seems like an actual demo. Like this, and I specifically like when I was asking Isaac, I specifically said, um, uh, you know that your team's game is like it's great. You could actually use this in your like submission. Point is, I'm not gonna beat it. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest here. Let's be real here. I know it's beatable. I've beaten it multiple times. I don't know what happened. Point is, cool. This is great. I love it. Their very much their assignment, like their entire submission. Oh wait, did I just open it? Oh, I did. Close, please, close. There we go. But they're very like their assignment was very. I'm trying to make so I can keep chat on screen. So this will be in the video so I can answer people. You've leaked the source files. That's actually the point. I'm gonna leak the source files. Where I don't remember. Did you guys do it in physics playground? Or, okay, I figured as much. But on your physics movement. Okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I see you like from the thank you from people in the chat. I see you helped a few people at the very least as well, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate like everyone that goes out of their way to help like other students and stuff. That is very appreciated because it makes my life easier. As well as it makes Dr. Hoag's life easier, and I know he appreciates it as well. Number of platform rows. XY length. Yeah, I like the comments. I do like the comments. I was watching them during the thing. This was like I the break made me laugh. But but I do love this make platform. Because it's very well done with the way that you guys did your ground, like your ground sprite, with the way that you guys were able to like expand it as much as you wanted. Because of this, because of the way it was done. And I really what is this? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I'm not going to question the fire in his eyes. Yes, I did. I did see all the bricks crushing Link. But yeah, how many? Yeah, that's fair. The graphs were very well done. I will say that. I would say you guys probably got one of the closest graphs to the actual requirements. I was very impressed with how you did it too, using like POW functions and like square root functions that lead into POW functions, and I was like, that's insane. I was like, I I would not have thought of that. How do I make this graph? Ha! Yeah. Yeah, you were trying to make it a. I guess this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. You would make it a. Yeah. That. No, it probably wouldn't have. But point is like the way that you guys did do it, it worked. And then your guys' second one also was very well done. Even I believe like even in the picture, this one was actually faster, and then this one was like less steep in the picture like that we posted. With the assignment, which I think is very, I think that's very well done. And then your sprite sheets. What is this? Is this, where did you find this? Did you make this? It's adorable. I do love it. I I love both of them. It's and that right there is a very 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 good way to do it. And Ricardo, like the only requirement for the assignment was basically just have at least one animation. You didn't actually have to. The only issue is the way that we implemented the player was by having multiple animations strung together. As well as what I also said is you guys were fully allowed to just steal a sprite sheet from online. Like fully allowed. I'm not an artist personally. I'm gonna be honest, I would never be able to draw this. Ever. I'm that bad. Okay, maybe. Maybe. Maybe I could do it. Maybe I would use a mask to make it look like it's rolling. Use a mask around the circle and then just move it down. Yeah, basically. I would never be able to do this. That's my point. I'm not an artist. I would never ask like I would never ask you guys to be good. This is not an art class. I would never ask you guys to be good at art. As long as you have animation in, that was okay. It is a very good, amazing sprite sheet, Nazifa. Just so you know, I really do like it, and I think the class agrees as well. But yes, the big thing that I want to like talk about is like, how did you guys figure out, um, like how you were gonna do things? Where is make platform, make image, keyboard down? Yeah. So then you got your show your grace, your dang it, your graphs. I don't know what grace is. Yeah, here's your hell. This is an abomination. When I saw it in your video, my first thought was that's an abomination. Because this is them, and if anyone's wondering, basically what they've done here is when they did when they did position-based movement, because they took the outline literally. Even though I said in chat, hey, you don't have to do position-based movement. I'm not gonna mark you on that, because that just breaks the physics. You definitely did not, given that you wrote 200 messages. um, yeah, you did not have to write this. No. Position-based movement. So the issue is position-based movement ignores all physics bodies. It ignores the physics math entirely. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it does that. Yeah, it does that. Actually, if you're halfway through the object, and because your platforms are so small, if you're halfway through an object, it'll drop you. But if you're like above the halfway point, like if the center of your physics body is above, it'll force you up. The yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Mhm. Mhm. Is moving. I like it. Mhm. In your video you mentioned that. In your video you very much you were like, I met my personal goal of making it completable with both. Uh Isaac and Nazifa, Aiden has a question. Aiden would like to be able to play your guys' game. Um and given that I've already marked you guys, obviously you guys' marks aren't released. But there shouldn't be any issues with you guys posting. You guys can post your exe, like if you want to. Basically, like follow that guide that I posted. That how to submit and create the final exe folder. It'll tell you exactly what to put in there. And then you guys can just. It should be like less than a few. It'll be like 2 or 3 megabytes max, and then you'll be able to upload it without Nitro. Or Nazifa can upload it with Nitro. It's okay. I upload like 80 megabyte files. Like I uploaded a Minecraft world yesterday to one of my servers. A compressed. I know. But anyways, so the big thing is the Zifa do be flexing. It's okay. I have Nitro too. Um, yeah, we are. But basically, the biggest thing is like, so what did you do to get a lot of this, like where you guys got to? And would you say that you both understand what you wrote? Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm. And I'd say that you guys have reached an important step in game dev, and something that this is a good thing that I'm recording this, because this is a very like that is a big step in game dev. Because later on in like second year and third year, there are teachers. One of them is named Dr. Alvaro, who in his classes requires that you all know every bit of the content. Every single member of the team should be able to explain any part of the code. That is a requirement in his class. You will get a 0 on your assignment if a member of the team cannot. It is terrifying. Oh, believe me, it's terrifying. It forces you to work as a team. It forces you to all get together and work on it. Because if you don't, then he's not an ass. No, Aiden, definitely don't say that. No. He's not. He's definitely not an ass. No, no. He's fair. He's fair, Natasha. He is fair. He is fair in the way that that if you forget something, he gives you chances. He gives you a lot of chances. Like he'll be like, okay, but like, how did you do this specific line? Like, what does this line do? Like, if you can't explain like the whole process, it's like, what does this do? Like, what is this easier? And I'll tell you that at that point, you're choosing your own teams. In GDW, you're choosing your own teams by the third one, which you guys will start end of this month, I think. You guys are doing the digitized board game, right? Uh, isn't that the second? Yeah, I thought. Yeah, yeah. And then you're making a console game for the third one. Yes. Yes. I believe you're allowed to use the framework as well, if anyone would like. I know that last year he gave that as an option, the math framework. But you do pick your own teams, and the idea is you need to make friends. Like you gotta make friends. You gotta meet groups of people. Like in my year, there are groups of 7. Well, sorry, not in my year. In my year, there was groups of 7. In fourth year, you do not have GDW. There is no like GDW. But instead, I have like 4 different game projects that I have to make. I'm making Unity assets for one class. Unity assets that we can upload, so that'll be fun. That'll be fun, actually. But the assignments, one thing that I want to reiterate on, and I noticed a lot of it in the chat, is this class is not your other classes. Your other classes all have intro in them for a reason. This class, like, instead of looking at the intros specifically, notice that this class doesn't have an intro in it. This class is required for all of your future courses, basically. This is the prerequisite for almost every single course for every single other year. This course. And it is going to be harder than all of your other courses. It is designed to be harder than all of your other courses. That there is a reason. Because if we cannot... Yeah, concept and graphic design. That's also taught by Gavin. Gavin is a very... How do I explain this? He has an easy... So... I'm trying to explain it without saying like he's an easy marker. But he is an easier marker than Dr. Hogue. He's amazing. I love him. Love Gavin. Gavin is also a firm believer in practice, practice, practice. So Gavin would not be the one here, like, vouching. Because we very much do give the time, like, in the end, this assignment was assigned for over a month. And every week, I believe even Dr. Hogue was saying, make sure to work on it. At least he did in my year. Um, and so it's very hard to compare the art and the math course. Is one of the big things that I gotta say. It's very hard to compare those two. But yes, you're right. They both don't have intro. Um, they both don't have intro in them, and there's a reason for that. Essential math is if it doesn't set you up for success, if it doesn't set you up with programming skills and math skills, I will tell you that every single year, upper year, has learned more programming in this class than they did in their programming class. Every single one, without fail. If you ask almost any of them, they will tell you that in essential math they learned more programming than they did in the programming course. Why do we have the programming course? School requirements. I also personally believe that they should remove data management as an option for the math course that's required for this program, because data management does nothing but prepare you for disappointment. It does. Like, if you take, like, and it's okay if you took data management, and like data management's cool and all, but well, it prepares you for disappointment, because you then get here and you're like, oh, none of the stuff I learned in data management is even here at all. I think third year's the first time we actually used anything that was like data based. And even then, they taught us from scratch. Yeah. The issue is we can't teach. So we can't teach all the programming, but we also can't teach just math. If we were to teach pure math, you guys, there would be no prep for next year. Imagine being expected next semester to suddenly make a game in this framework, and we didn't teach you any programming. And we didn't put you through, I guess I can call it a trial by fire. If we didn't throw you in at the deep end without a, with some tubing, just a little. But like, there was obviously, like, me and Dr. Hogue were answering questions and helping people debug in the chat, and I'm gonna tell you guys that we are not at all obligated to do that. I just want to say that and make sure that everybody knows that. Like, be very, 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 very respectful to Dr. Hogue in that chat, because he does not have to answer anyone. He doesn't have to be there. If you email him, he has to answer within 48 hours. That's all. That's all that's required of him. You can ask for a meeting, but he's not obligated to give you that either. Nor am I. We choose to. We choose to answer questions. We choose to answer them in the DMs. We choose to answer them in the chat. I haven't gotten the chance, Joshua. No, I have not gotten the chance. My point is like, I noticed a few people that were getting frustrated with the assignment and weren't as respectful as they could have been. Seemingly taking for granted the fact that we were sitting there using our own time. And like, for example, I had assignments due, but I was answering your guys' questions instead up until the due date. I'm not like asking for thanks, but thank you, but I exactly. No. And I'm sure he would be appreciative to hear that. And but it's just, I think it's a frustrating time for all of us, and I think very much that everybody needs to like work together. Like, had like, and I hate saying this because it's not entirely like the student's fault. It also falls on me. But basically, like, I would have been able to help people if those issues had popped up more than a week, like a few days before the due date. If all of those issues had popped up before that and people had been working on it before that, I could have like caught it and did it, like covered it in the next tutorial. And that's what really sucks about it, knowing that there was something that I could have done but couldn't because I didn't see them. But I very much think that hopefully this will be a learning experience to all of us, like this is my first time TAing. And very much in the future, I'll be more adamant on encouraging doing the work early and often, rather than later on. And Natasha, I can definitely record a small video with next week's video for that. I will tell you, I'm pretty sure next assignment does not use Box 2D. The only downside to that is you have to write your own physics for the assignment. I'm almost positive. Yeah, slight head start. Slight head start, yeah. Yes, Natasha, you're right. That's why. I would say the next assignment is probably easier, given that a lot of people that struggled with assignment 1 basically wrote their own physics already. As you can, there is in fact a method to the madness, and Savanes, it would be nice, but at the same time, the issue is we only have an hour and a half total for tutorials. So I don't know if you guys know this, but because of COVID, the school is basically cutting all TA's hours. And I don't know if you guys know this as well. I only get paid for 10 hours a week, like total. Like my paycheck every 2 weeks is like $250. That's it. That's it. And there are days where I've spent 3-4 hours just in the Discord answering questions, and then a good another 3 hours just uploading a video, a good another 3 hours just marking. And I don't even have 10 hours a week in this course. I have 7 hours a week in this course. Like, I have 3 hours a week in my other course. Imagine how they're feeling. They have a 3-hour tutorial. No, it doesn't, Natasha, sadly, because we are not at all obligated to answer you guys. So we don't have to answer you guys, so we shouldn't have to do anything more than that. But we do, because we don't want you to suffer, basically. We don't want you guys to not have the content. We don't want you guys, you know, don't make me get into the school with that stuff. I like now, after being a TA, I feel bad for every TA that I've ever had. Especially when, like, I've seen, like, my classmates, like, be rude to the TA because they don't think that they're answering their questions fast enough, or they're not getting feedback fast enough. I feel bad for every single one of them now. Knowing what I know now. It is a very thankless job. People will say that you're not doing enough, and a lot of them will just stay quiet about it, and I think, but one of our TAs this year, he TAs 3 of our courses. Dala, I don't think so. No. But one of our TAs this year was he's TA for 3 of our courses. And during the tutorial, like, the issue is I'm also expected to come up with the tutorial content, then record it, then upload it, then do my office hours, then, like, answer any questions you guys have in the Discord. That's not even, like, part of my, like, I have basically, like, this sheet, like, that tells me what I have that I can do per week. But, like, answering questions in the Discord, that's not part of it. That's my office hours. My office hours are meant to be, that's my answering questions time. That's the only allotted time that I have. And no, I don't think, and I want to clarify, I don't think anyone ever seemed necessarily, like, fully rude. It's just, it seemed like there was a very hostile environment in the chat at one point for a little bit. and that wasn't something that I was okay with, especially given that neither of us were expected to be there. Uh, it was our like reading week is a break for everyone. Reading week is a time to prepare for everyone, including your TAs. And like instead of doing that, I was answering questions, and I was met with a hostile environment. And sometimes, yeah, people were legit having mental breakdowns. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a mental breakdown in my first year too. Um, it that's what first year's like. Um, mhm. And I know people that are at Waterloo like that were 90s students and are now getting 50s. Like, and Natasha, that's true. If I'm honest, um, it's but like people. I was told when I talk to people about applying for university, basically that if you're a 90 student, be prepared to become a 70s student, which is fair, honestly. The issue is being a 90 student did not prepare me for the disappointment of not being able to complete all my assignments. I'm a perfectionist. I have to be able to complete them all or do all of it or else I don't hand it in. But the big thing that I need to learn is that you need to hand in even the unfinished stuff. Handing in anything is better than nothing. Like I will give you part marks. I will give you part marks for explaining what you were trying to do and showing me that you tried. Almost all of your teachers will give you part marks for that. Business teachers probably won't. That's a disclaimer. Business teachers probably won't. Business teachers don't like you. But that's the thing. This is how that is, sadly. But I just want you guys to know that like when me and Dr. Hoke sit in that chat and answer questions, we're doing it for you guys, not because we're getting paid. Like we're not getting paid to answer those questions at all. Like we're not. There's not a single cent that we're getting for sitting there and answering your questions in the Discord. We could just as easily not say anything. And yes, Natasha, that's a very good like thing to reach that everybody needs to reach. You need to be able to accept that you won't be able to do it all, and hand in what you have, and explain what you have, and what you tried to do. And 9 times out of 10, you'll get you will you'll get a good you'll get like a good portion of part marks. Like you'll get rewarded for admitting that you're wrong. Because in the real world, when you have an actual job, there will be times where you're unable to complete your task. In the real world, like at your job, there will be times. And if you just try to hide it or perfectionist it or like keep pushing it off and not meeting deadlines, you're not gonna get you're gonna get punished. You're gonna get fired. But if you go to your boss and say, "Hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to meet this deadline. Can I get an extension?" Like like in the real world, that's how it works. Hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this deadline done. In some cases, they will tell you to crunch. Crunch is also very iffy depending on where you are in the industry. It doesn't matter if you're in game dev specifically. And they can only tell you to crunch without pay if you accept a salary job. That's all I'm saying. Salary jobs are the ones that can tell you to crunch. They can't tell you to crunch if you're hourly. That's why most game dev jobs are salary. Well, good things come from salary as well, because salary lets you get paid when you're sick and away and you aren't in class or anything. Or not in class, at work. Like you get paid to be sick. But yes, those are all very like. I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that that like me and Dr. Hogue are doing our best. This whole online thing is still very new, and I would appreciate it. Like, I understand that some people are having mental breakdowns, but in those cases, you need to recuse yourself from social media or anything like that. it I know it's easier to go in there and be like, what the heck, like, this is way too hard. But what you need to do is, like, take a step back and take some deep breaths. And this class isn't like your other classes. Regardless of if you're easily able to finish all your other classes' assignments and stuff like that, this class is not that. And it never will be. This class will always be harder. Very much harder. This class is the class. This class is one that you are going to be using the content from for pretty much, like, especially with all the debugging that I've been teaching. This is going to be content that you guys are going to be using for the rest of your time at this school and even after. So my high functioning anxiety doesn't let me have mental breakdowns. I feel that. That's a mood. That's a mood. Not a good mood, but it's a mood. But yes. Yeah, the player works if you create them last. That was something that I should have mentioned. There's a thing that Entity does that's weird. I'll explain it later. There's a reason why we set the references to the player at the end, like for the horizontal scrolls. There's a reason that we do that. There's a big reason that we do that. And that's because it breaks if you don't. There's a reason why we do it at the bottom of the list. I just never explained that in a video, and I will explain it in the next video. I will be including that in the next video. Oh. Yep. Yeah, that happens. That happens. What's the dropout percent from first year to second year? 50%, Christian. Just about 50%. Yeah, just about 50% dropout. I will be very sad if I don't see all of you next year, but it does happen. It is. Yeah, roughly half. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the roughly half. If you're here, it's a good sign, and I completely agree with Isaac. If you're already at this tutorial, we have roughly half of you already here. And if you're here, you've already taken a big step. That's what I think, at least. But what was I going to say? What's the minimum grade you need in order to pass? Technically a 50, but this is an honors program, so I think you need to keep above a 3.7 GPA. No, 2.7. 2.7, not 3.7. 3.7 is like an 80%. 2.7 is a 60 question mark? I believe it's a 60. You need a 60. You need like a 60% to stay in the program. If you go below a 2.7 GPA, which will be a 60, if you go below a 2.7, you will be you will get you go on academic probation, and then you have 2 semesters to raise your grade before you get suspended from the school. If you don't get above above the correct grade. Do I have any info on the next year's assignment? On the next assignment. None that I can specifically give out other than what I've already given. I believe the rest of it is up to Dr. Hogue. He should be announcing it probably at the next thing. It's not going to be due for a while. That's like that. The second assignment is, as far as I'm aware, our last assignment other than your GDW. I am very tired. I'm probably going to take a nap after this. And my throat is really dry, and I finished my drink. I also have a fan pointed at me, so I just moved that. But yeah, no, I'm probably going to take a nap because I have like 2 assignments to finish tonight as well. And started playing a modded Minecraft server that I run with a friend. Me and a few friends are paying for like an 8 GB server. That's fun. Yes, you need a 70% to not be placed on academic probation. Yeah, this is an honors program. Basically, your degree is gonna be with honors, which basically just means it's a more prestigious degree. You have to pay to run a server. Well, I have to pay to. I paid to run a I paid a hosting service to hold a server that has 8 GB of RAM because I only have 16 gigs on my laptop, so I can't dedicate all of it to running a server. Though honestly, I should just use my other laptop and host a server on there. Like, I don't even have a numpad on my keyboard. I just bought a keyboard today and it should be arriving later. Yeah, I know. It's out for delivery right now. I bought a new keyboard and a new mouse. So that's fun. No, it'll be arriving in before 9 tonight. Thank God for Amazon. But yes, that is so the Minecraft world is actually modded. It's RL Craft. The super hard RL Craft. Me and a few friends were playing it on a server that we host. We recently decided to switch because RL Craft doesn't have any I guess cute mods. My girlfriend wanted some cute mods as well in there, so we compromised and found one that had magic, like bosses, like medieval stuff, like Tinker's Construct, and other things, as well as fairy lights, Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod, and stuff like that. We compromised. I think it's time to stop the recording. I think it's time to not have recording include Minecraft stuff. But for anyone watching the recording, yes, there will be a video next week. I'm not sure what it'll be on yet. I recently ran out of pre-made tutorials, so I have to start making them again. So that's fun. Yes. Okay, get them in. Yes. Get them in. Mm. There was also a commented out thing in there. Mhm. No. For example, if you open up Box Duty, this is like a website. They actually have like all of their documentation. Like this. So the issue is when people were like, this is a custom engine. There's no googling things. That's not necessarily true. This custom engine uses other libraries. And I made it so like the physics body, you have the get body function. And so using the get body function, you have access to every single one of all of these. You have access to everything in here. Like anything from the that you can use here, you can use using that. Like collisions. You can make convex shapes and concave shapes. You don't have to use boxes. That's another thing that's another thing that I never went over, and JJ from GPC will know a lot more than I do, because I never personally, like, the stuff that I created with the framework was very top level. A lot of the stuff that I've created is JJ created an entire, like, he created the entire collision for his map using fixtures, just a bunch of joints, just a bunch of lines to create his whole map. I've already said that I would be highly recommending JJ as TA for this course when I'm done TAing it. I may TA it next year, but after that, I would absolutely recommend him to be. And I'm hoping that we can continue this like cycle with people doing really well with the framework and continuing on and getting like really good with it, and then having next year's person basically. But yeah. But did you have anything more to say? Yes. Mhm. It's a good example. Mhm. 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 Yeah. You wouldn't. Yeah. But for example, you wrote this. You use the physics, like the hello world image, in order to create this. What specifically? Get key G. Yeah, there it is. This. So this is a reference. And means reference, but this is a, in fact, this returns a reference to the component, to the sprite component. I can't fully explain this. This is your programming teacher should be explaining this. We can't just explain this, sadly. Sadly, you know. No, yes, exactly. No, and that's a good way to look at it. Hmm. I completely agree about that. The last thing that I would definitely say is I understand there's a lot of frustration with not fully understanding every line, but you got to understand that we physically can't teach you every line. I can't teach you programming. Like, I can't teach you, like, programming from scratch. I can teach you to program within the framework. It's sort of like learning to program C# only in the context of Unity. You haven't actually learned C#. You've learned Unity shortcuts. You've learned Unity, like, code. You've only learned how to use these blocks of code in the context of Unity. But would you? I would definitely say you know how to program in Unity, in that case. And it's the same vice versa. You are learning blocks of code that do specific things. You can then extrapolate those blocks of code into other things without reinventing the wheel. Which is exactly what Isaac and Nazifa did. And I was very impressed with their work. And I would say I was impressed with a lot of people's work, honestly. For, like, all of the, like, you know, the last minute, like, worrying in the chat, I would say a lot of people's work still very much impressed me. And was very well done. But yes, it is 11:15. We are over our time. I'm not teaching my other class today. I'm probably gonna go take a nap. Very tired. But I will see you guys all, like, on Sunday, obviously, because I'll be recording and uploading that video. I guess you guys won't see me, but, well, I guess I won't see you, but you guys will see me in the video. But I hope everyone was satisfied with what they handed in. I know it's hard very much with perfectionism and stuff like that. That's something I struggle with. But I know it's possible, and I know you guys can do it. Yeah, use that I posted a PDF, and just follow that, and it'll clean up all the garbage files. Don't include the .get, just include the final exe file. That's one thing, don't ever include the .get. The .get, it can be like over a gig sometimes. The .get is that's the get ignore that's getting rid of garbage files. The .get actually holds every single previous version of your code that you've pushed. That's how Gitkraken knows to be able to jump back to them, because it's all in the .get. That's why the .get's so huge. No, it's a very compressed version of all the files, but it's all the files. So if you have like 100 different pushes, you're gonna have a very big .get. My .get's been as high as like 10 gigs before. It's not fun. But yeah, they're all stored locally to make it faster. They're all the versions that you've pushed before pulling. And then the rest of it's stored on the cloud. But yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording now.